What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the disheartening story that they've actually approached Henry Cavill, Warner Bros., to come back as Superman, and Henry Cavill has been the one to say no. Now, here's the thing that's interesting with this. I am almost 1,000%, I'll even go higher than 100. I'm almost 1,000% positive I have heard this before, whether it was a few weeks or a few months ago, and for whatever reason I didn't do a video on it, but now it's making the news, so I guess I probably should have jumped the gun and done it back then. But I swear there was a rumor a while ago that was basically, you know, for all the people that think, and we'll talk about it, but for all the people that think like it's just because Warner Bros. Doesn't want this to happen, well, it's actually Henry Cavill doesn't want it to happen, and that's what's really going on here. Now, here's the deal. This comes from Eric Davis of Fandango. We'll talk about what he actually said, and then we'll go over what I think of it. So let's read out what he said first. And they were talking in a podcast, and they said, "What have you heard about Henry lately? I've heard a story that they've asked him, and he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to come back." Now, later on, they do speculate, and they don't say anything about, like, confirmation, but I think it was Eric that said, like, he would bet on, or it's his assumption that they're gonna, number one, they're gonna kind of circle back and really try to get him back as Superman, and then he believes that we haven't seen the last of Henry Cavill as Superman, even though it's been so long since Man of Steel. So, a couple different parts of this, right? Number one, I guess there's the idea of, you know, him coming back in general, and the answer for me, or my response to that would be, yes, please. I really do want him back. I think he's a phenomenal Superman, and you could argue about the tone, right, of Man of Steel and Snyder's, you know, entire vision, but I really like his Superman. I feel more than anything else that he was done very dirty in how they had handled him. And that's why, you know, I guess moving on to step two, do I really believe this? I believe it to an extent. I kind of believe that they have approached him when they say, like, you know, they want him back and he has said no. I guess if that's true fully, if they've come up to him and said, we want to offer you like maybe a 2 more movie picture deal where you're going to do Man of Steel 2 and 3, or even just the second one, and he said, no, I don't want it. You know, that's kind of where the story ends, and I respect him for putting his foot down. Maybe they did something, you know, bad to him in the past. Maybe he has his reasons, and I would give respect to him. And I'd also give respect to Warner Bros. For trying. You know, like, if that actually happens, like, well, they tried. Now, of course, like, are they not offering money, like the right amount of money? Were they disrespectful or did something to him in the past? Like, what's the reason why he's saying no? Basically, that's the real question, right? Why is he saying no if it is true? Is it because of money? Is it because they want him to come back as 2.5-second cameos, like in Shazam, or if he's at the end of Black Adam, or whatever? There's a theme, specifically with him, I would say more than anybody else, right? Where he shows up as cameos, and it's not actually him, but he shows up for like 4.5 seconds. So if they've come to him and said, hey, we want you to do like a cameo tour, like, can you appear in The Flash? But it would only be like literally 2 seconds. Like, it's not going to be very long. In fact, if you don't want to, we can still do it. We'll just use like a double, and we're not going to show your head. Like, in fact, we'll even make a joke about it like we did in Shazam. Like, you know, like, it's like, is that what they're asking him to come back for? And then they're saying that after this cameo tour, then you can be in your own movie again. Because then I would feel like he would say, up yours, and then he would like walk away. You know, and I feel like he's stood up for himself in that way. I don't know. It's odd. I guess it's not necessarily odd, but like the timing is pretty specific, because we've also heard rumors of Gal Gadot coming back in multiple projects. Now, not starring in, I believe the word going around is featuring, which, you know, just means you're in it for any length of time. Featured. She's going to be featured in multiple DC movies. Now, I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I think she's phenomenal, perfect fit. So that one, it's like, well, I think there were rumors that she'd be in The Flash, right? So that would make sense to see her there. Would she be in Black Adam? Would she be in Shazam? I mean, it's definitely possible. I think Eric Davis or maybe somebody else had said she's already filmed her scenes for a couple of these films that she's going to be a part of. So, you know, at least with her, because, you know, you had the end of like Peacemaker with all of them, but none of them except for 2, one of which probably shouldn't have been there, and Ezra Miller, right? So it's pretty funny that those were the choices, or at least one half. I like Jason Momoa, but, you know, it's odd, I guess, that you have the cameos and then Gal is going to be doing it versus, I guess, Henry. But like, Gal Gadot has gotten Wonder Woman 1 and 2, and she's going to be doing 3, at least as of right now, right? So I don't know. I do really want him back. It's just a question of, I would give respect to every party involved. Like, again, I really believe if nobody's really doing anything wrong, right, and Warner Bros. Goes up to him and offers him, and it's a fine pay, like everything's good terms, and he simply says no, like that was my past, like I don't want to do it anymore. If that's the case, then it's like, honestly, respect to all sides. It's like respect for him for just, saying no and kind of walking away in like, I guess, having like dignity in that way. And then respect to Warner Bros. For doing it. The issue is I find it very hard to believe that that's actually happened. You know what I mean? I feel he probably feels disrespected because of the cameos. And I don't really, like, have they tried to get him like this year, like this past year? Or are we talking they've tried to get him continuously? Because if they try to get him continuously, then again, I think it's like, okay, it's not a fit anymore. But if they've just recently tried, they're like, oh man, we didn't really know what we had in you for like 30 years. And then now, because of the Snyder Cut or whatever, or because we're really trying to go back into the brand of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, like, we want you back. Or, we gave J.J. Abrams all this money, and I mean, he literally is sitting there doing nothing, and people are not very happy with the projects that he is potentially going to be creating, so we really need you back. Like, if he's a fallback option, again, as a human being, I mean, I would feel disrespected. Right? If somebody came to you and said, yeah, you weren't my first choice, in fact, you weren't even like my third or fourth, but you're my fifth choice, and so let's make a deal happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd feel very disrespected. So that is more and maybe it's not. Maybe that's not what happened. But I feel like it probably is. And I feel like the idea of, they want him back, they're asking him to come back. When did that start? Was that a year ago? Was that 5 years ago? Like, how long have they been after him to get him back? I feel like the answer is going to be not very long. Like, they recently started. And he's like, oh, now you're coming to me? That's my interpretation. We'll see if I'm right. It's almost like a Johnny Depp thing with Disney, where if like Disney came back to him for Pirates 6, I fully would understand completely Johnny Depp saying absolutely not. You know what I mean? I would like to know, and I would like that to happen. I'd like Disney to go to him and say, hey, we'd like you back. We're going to give you this money. And if he says no to it, that's kind of like the bed Disney made, whereas this is the bed, I mean, it's different situations, but it's similar in that regard where, I would understand the actor turning down the mega corporation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. I hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video.